Show you how to change out the brake pads on a Ford Taurus 2015 SHO. Okay, so here, save yourself a little hassle. Just loosen up your nuts while it's down on the ground, and then jack it up, and then you can finish taking off the nuts. Makes things a lot easier. So after you take off your tire, this is what you're going to see. Here is your rotor, here's your caliper, then here are your brake pads. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this bolt off right here. Well, at least let's loosen it up. And then there's a bolt back here. We're going to loosen that up also. And this is a fairly quick process, since we're not changing out any of the rotors or wheel bearings or anything like that. So here we go. So here you want to get back there with 11/16 socket. Go right there. It'd be pretty hard to snap off there once you got it snapped pretty good. Snap one, loosen it up a little bit, hop onto the next one. As you can see, I could probably get away with using some new rotors, but I'll swap that out later. Okay, so what I like to do makes it pretty easy for changing out the brake pads. I'll loosen up the bottom, take the top bolt completely off. Alright, so I got that bolt off. There you go. And here I like to just push it like that. And there you go. You can actually just pop out your brake pads like so. Pop them out. Yeah, that was looking pretty bad, as you can see. Pop out the other one. That also was looking pretty low. Yeah, it's about time to place those. Yeah, so it's actually a very quick, easy fix. We'll pop the new brake pads on, close it up, and we're good to go. So once you got the old brake pads off, you're going to want to take your new brake pads. You're going to want to put grease this, grease right in here, grease up here, grease the slower. And you pop those in. Me personally, I'm not going to grease them because I'm going to get back in here later, change out the rotors and all that. You pop them in the brake pad in the back. Make sure you put in your back brake pad, and then we're going to want to seat clamp and get the pressure out of these calipers. That way we're able to slip it back on. What I do is I take an old brake pad, put it right there, and I'm gonna actually go get a seat clamp, and then I'll compress this. That way these go back. But before you do that, you don't want to blow your brake lines. So you actually want to pop your hood. Pop your hood. You want to pop your hood, and once you get inside the hood, you want to take the cap off your brake fluid. That way, when you're pushing the calipers back in, it takes all the you won't have a lot of tension in the lines. So here you go, right here. There's your brake fluid. Brake fluid looks pretty good. This takes the .4. So here So here's a C-clamp that I'll be using. This is actually a rather big C-clamp for what I'm doing, but I'm going to use it anyways to get it done. So here, I'll apply the C-clamp, and I'll put pressure, and I'll just keep going back and forth, putting pressure to push those back in there. You want to make sure you have that brake fluid cap off though. You don't want to push pressure onto these lines and then you're going to have bigger problems. Okay, so yeah, so here I'm going to start pushing these back in, and then once these get pushed back, you'll see that the caliper will pop right back on. We'll put this bolt back in there and we're good to go. Okay, and so now that we have those pushed all the way back in, we can just take this, slide it back over, put the old brake back, slide it over, and you're gonna want to lube these up too. Me personally, I'm gonna get back in here, so I'm not doing that up. But where you slide this in, you want to put some lube on here, and you slide that back in there. Me personally, I'm gonna get back in here, and I'll do that later. Probably should do that while I'm showing you this video, but that's the quick video here. Just pop that bolt back in there. Yeah, so now that we got that done, you can pop the tire back on, and then you change out this side, you're going to want to change out the other side, the passenger front side. And you want to go this nut. You want to go this nut. You want to do that in a star shape until they're all nice and tight. So once you're done putting the tire back on, you want to make sure you put that cap back on before you start pumping the brakes. Okay, there you go. You put that cap back on there, and if you need to put more brake fluid in there, put some brake fluid in there. I'll show you a max line where the brake fluid should be. I could actually use a little bit more brake fluid in mine. So side note, I find it funny how they put the insert for the brake fluid right next to your positive terminal for the battery, which brake fluid is highly corrosive. So yeah, when you're putting in the brake fluid, be aware of that. Don't spill brake fluid on there. It's like yeah, that's a funny little scenario there. Yep. Okay. Anyways, so once you got the tire back on, you want to hop inside your vehicle, and this is once you have the tire back on and you've done both sides, you want to turn your vehicle on, and you just want to take your foot and you want to take it to the brake pedal, and you want to pump your brake pedal. That way you can build that pressure back up on there. You want to do that before you actually start moving. You don't want to do that while you're moving, because you won't be able to stop when you want to stop. And thank you for watching this video.